Yo! Welcome back to another episode of BGhetto Vlogs. Today's video, obviously not a vlog. I posted on my Instagram and my TikTok last week about doing another Q&A video on my YouTube, so that's what this video is. Obviously it says that in the thumbnail, so I don't know why I had to repeat myself there. Saturday morning, I couldn't get it done throughout the week, so Saturday morning right now. By the time you're seeing this, it's probably Sunday afternoon by the time I finish editing and everything like that. So I have quite a few responses. They were just stories that I put up, so they only lasted for 24 hours, but I've got the responses here on my phone, so if you see me looking down at my phone, it's because I'm reading the questions, but I'll also put the questions up here or here, wherever fits better. Alright, well, let's get into it. Just before I get into it, there are a few questions on there that are pretty similar or exactly the same, so I will put them all up together if they are in the same sort of realm, and I'll try and answer them as best as I can. But we'll start with the Instagram story first. Let's go. Alright, so first question was from Robbie Hill 02. He says, ever considered working at a golf course? I've considered it, because obviously sports turf management deal with all sports turf surfaces. I enjoy playing golf to some extent. I don't play often. Pretty much every summer I have a couple of hits with the boys every now and then, but apart from that, don't play a whole lot. Working on a golf course, it's never really, like, I've considered it obviously, but it's never really been something that I've considered seriously. I enjoy working on football fields and cricket fields and making cricket pitches more so than the idea of cutting fairways and greens and everything like that. Obviously, there's a lot I could learn at a golf course regarding like the finer sports turfs and cutting grass and maintaining grass at such a low height, which obviously causes more. The grass is more susceptible to diseases and funguses and everything like that. So obviously, I would learn a lot more on a golf course in that aspect. But right now, I mean, I'm open to it in the future. But right now, I'm happy doing sports fields and cricket pitches. Next question is from big_slogger_28. He says, how much do you love your fans? Mate, this much. I don't know, there's like, it's still bizarre to me to think that I have fans. Like, I don't consider you guys fans, I just consider you guys friends, if that makes sense, if it's not corny. Like, I'm just another dude, started posting videos of grass and my work and showing the progress at the workplace that I'm at, just because their sports field was so bad when I got there, and I wanted to document the progress of that. And once I started seeing good results, I was like, damn, I want to show this off to people, because I'm very passionate about what I do and I take a lot of pride in what I do. That's why I post these videos, and that's why I love to show off my work and my skill set, because one, yes, it shows what I can do with my knowledge and my skill set, but it also motivates me to be better, because I know so many eyes are on my work, and I know so many people see it and go, like, they comment on everything, so I want to keep topping myself and keep being better and better and better. Obviously things change with seasons and everything like that, but my goal is to just create some sort of masterpiece, whether it be the outfield or the pitch or anything. I want to create something that you guys can look at and go, damn, that's sick. So I mean, I couldn't do any of this without my fans or my friends, and you guys watching and everything, keeping me motivated. So I love you guys a lot. Like, I appreciate every single one of you guys. The 70% male, 30% female. Unbelievable, 105.8k followers on TikTok now, I think, which is far beyond what I ever thought I could exceed. And yeah, big things are coming. There will be a couple of announcements coming in the following weeks. Big opportunities coming my way. And yeah, I'm excited to share that with you guys, so stay tuned for that. Alright, so there's three comments on this that relate to the same thing. One is from Harry_Stevens that says, no longer at the school, ? Another one says, where is it? Another one says, are you leaving BGS? That's from Seb2105. And another one says, are you leaving Brighton Grammar? That's from Archball_4. I mean, maybe one day. Short answer is no. Long answer is, I mean, things change, people change, scenarios change, and circumstances change. So, I mean, in the future, whether that be the near future or further down the line, I don't know what is coming my way. I have some sort of idea, but at this stage, no, I'm happy with where I'm working. I think they're happy with me working there in the scheme of work. Obviously, if people haven't noticed, I haven't been posting many videos of my work at the moment, and that's a bigger issue to deal with, but hopefully that all settles down and we can work some things out regarding that, and hopefully I can keep posting in the near future regarding the grass content. But like I said, at this stage, I am not leaving my workplace that I'm at right now, but if more opportunities come up for me that seem like a better fit and suit my lifestyle and my social media influence as well, then I would probably look into that and seriously consider other options. I mean, like I said, people change, things change, circumstances change. I've got nothing against the school. They've been great to work at. Nothing against the people there, and hopefully they've got nothing against me, even though some of them might. But I mean, every workplace there's going to be some people that don't really like you or disagree with some things that you do. So we'll leave it at that for this question, or these questions. Next question is from It's a Turf Life on Instagram, and he's also on TikTok. I follow him over there. He's kind of like my Adelaide counterpart. So if you're missing my content, my cricket content, go over to It's a Turf Life on TikTok or Instagram. He posts some cricket-related turf stuff from Adelaide at the private school that he works at, and he's starting to do a few sort of day in the life of a private school groundsman videos as well. But he's only new to the TikTok scene, maybe a couple of months. But yeah, give him a look. You'll see his username up here with the question. He says, what made you get into making wickets / being a groundsman? In my last Q&A, I kind of answered this, but I'll go over it again for any new followers. So, being a groundsman, I started my sports turf management apprenticeship at the Basco Shire Council in southern Victoria, like near Phillip Island, Wonthaggi, that whole area. So I was 19 years old when I got into the sports turf management apprenticeship at the council. What made me get into it? I needed a job. I enjoyed playing sport. I played footy and cricket. I always admired the look of the nicely cut oval and everything like that. And I also knew a guy that was the previous apprentice there. So I asked him as well, like, what's it like? And he was like, yeah, sick. My dad would always tell me, get a job at the council, you'll be set for life. Just knock on their door, keep asking, show them your face, and they'll remember your face. So when a job does come up, they'll contact you. And I was like, yeah, no worries. So knocked on their door a few times, put the question out there, and lo and behold, got the job. So the apprenticeship was 4 years because it was through a council. So trade school for 3 years, and then an extra year just under the council apprenticeship banner. And then stayed there for an extra 2 years after that, so 6 years in total. And yeah, just went through a few things in my life. Moved to Melbourne, needed the change, had to get out of there. Moved to Melbourne, was kind of trying to get out of the turf industry, but I mean, I'm glad I didn't because it's pretty much all I knew. And I managed to stumble into a gig at Brighton Grammar School where I replaced the guy. They were subcontracted out to a company called Landscape Solutions. Nothing against them, they're a good company. I started labour hiring for them, and then they realised my qualifications and everything, and they shipped me off to Brighton Grammar School to help out the head groundsman there at the time. Unfortunately, or fortunately for him, he chose to go elsewhere, closer to home, so he left, and that opened up a vacancy for me there. And I had a choice between Lakeside Stadium, MSAC, or Brighton Grammar School. I chose Brighton Grammar School because of the condition the field was in, and because it was cricket and football. I didn't really like to work on soccer fields, but cricket and football and the condition it was in really gave me a challenge to set myself to, and I wanted to set goals and achieve this challenge. I'd never been in charge of an area before, so I wanted to jump into the deep end and really test my skills and my knowledge in the turf industry, and just dive headfirst into it and just see what I could do, challenge myself. Relax, buddy. Sorry, my dog just growling. So yeah, I ended up there, and I'd never done turf wickets before. I had rebuilt a turf wicket block for the council, but I'd never actually maintained or prepared pitches. So I got onto, I started there in May of 2018, and so I went through football season first, which was fine, and then coming into cricket season I was like, damn, I don't really know a whole lot about this. And like private schools, APS schools, they have practice wickets, and like they have cricket, everything's there. So like you got games on Wednesdays, you got games on Fridays, Saturdays, you got practice wickets that get trained on every day of the week except for Fridays. So it was a big jump. So there's a turf guru, John Shannon, who's the head groundsman at Melbourne Grammar School, and he's got a website where he wrote a book on how to prepare turf wickets, and I pretty much just read that religiously for months, and every time I'd be preparing a pitch I'd be reading this and just trying to copy it, emulate it step by step. And then after about a season or so, it was just imprinted in my brain. I didn't have to read that anymore, and obviously you get networking in that area, you get more contacts, asking around, you just ask questions, you learn how to do it, and it just sort of becomes muscle memory in the end. But yeah, I love it. I love doing the wickets. Sometimes towards the end of the season you get a little bit burnt out because there is so much work that goes into cricket wickets, but at the end of the day, I love doing what I do. I love working outside, love cutting grass and producing pitches and having something that I can look back on and like I can see what I've created and I can see it being used, and I can watch the boys play cricket on it and go, oh, that's a good pitch, or oh, it's staying a little bit low in those spots, it's doing a little bit too much, maybe next time I don't do that, whatever. But the benefit is weather changes everything. Like you could have a hot week, 35 degrees, and the pitch is going to be completely different than a pitch 2 weeks later when you've only had weather of 20 degrees every day. So you get something different. Like you might think that you're doing the same thing over and over and over, but you're getting a different result every single time. Next one is from Gibson.j. He says, if you could drop anyone from the Australian Test team, who and why is it Warner? I have nothing against David Warner, but like he's obviously been a great player for the Australian team throughout his career, but I think his time in the team is done. He'll probably get put back in for the Ashes, but realistically, he has like 10 bad games, and then he comes out and makes a 200, and then he'll go back to having like 10 bad games, and that 200 gets him those extra 10 games, and then he'll do it all over again. I think he's just too inconsistent at the moment. He's getting on a little bit. It might be time for him to give it up at the Test level anyway. Maybe go back, play one-day cricket, one-day internationals, focus on that, and yeah. But I think the Australian Test team needs to move on from that and bring in a bit of new blood. Travis Head seems to be doing fine up at the top of the order. I don't know if he's suited there full time, but at the moment, while he was replacing Warner, he's doing fine. This next one is from Daniel Wigney. He says, can you do a day-by-day cricket pitch videos? Actually, I've done that a couple of times. They are in my TikToks. I have like a little, I'll try to put a thing up here, but I think there's a little folder there that says cricket pitch prep, and it's got every day-by-day thing, so the full 10-day process. And yeah, I don't think I can do that anymore where I am, but maybe in the future. Okay, another one here from Gibson.j. He says, most underrated cricketer around, one past and one present. Kind of put me on the spot because I didn't really read these questions beforehand. One past player that's underrated, Darren Berry. He was always one of the best glovemen in Australia, but just couldn't really get a gig at the highest level because his batting wasn't really up to standard. But that's kind of a big what-if sort of story there, like because he was one of the best wicket keepers around. But I can't really think of anyone else that, like, just off the top of my head, I'm trying to go through all the Test teams I've seen over my years. I don't know. And one present player that's underrated. Peter Hanscom, I rate pretty highly. He's sort of in and out of the Test lineup, a couple of years away from it, back in. I think he's proven himself over in India a little bit that he can play, and he can fit the team and be a quality insert to that squad. I think he just needs to have a couple of big innings to really cement himself in that lineup. Hopefully he does that. I mean, I wish Will Pucovski was back in the Test squad. I wish him all the best. Hopefully he gets through his mental health battles and obviously his injury and concussion protocols and everything that's going on with that, it'd be great to see him back on the track and get into the test squad. Hopefully, I think he's back today actually playing for the Vic 2s, or that might have even started already, but he's another one that is a present player he's not underrated at all. Everyone rates him pretty highly. He's a gun cricketer. But yeah, hopefully he can get back in there. So him, Peter Hanscom and Darren Berry. This next question is from Chris_Anderson. How did you get into the industry of work and the job that you do? Damn, I probably should have put all these questions up. Sorry, I'll put all the questions up here that were similar to the It's a Turf Life question that I answered before. So if your question's here, just revert back to that. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. My bad. Okay, so this one is from Tyler Hunt 684. He says, what is the best way to prepare for your cricket grand final this week? I'm assuming that's today, and I might be a little bit late by the time you see this. I don't know, man. Like, I don't really get nervous for cricket anymore. I used to be pretty nervous and think about it all week and be like, oh, we're going to grand final, and sort of you psych yourself out and you make yourself sick thinking, oh, I need to make runs to do this, I need to do that. I'd say the best way to prepare for it is just go through your normal routine, just go to work as normal, enjoy your normal training week, and just don't change anything that you would normally do for your typical game day. It's just another game. Cricket's been played for fun and just to enjoy the time out there with your mates and everything like that. Obviously, winning's great, and hopefully you do win. But yeah, don't change anything about your normal routine. Just go out there, treat it like a normal game, and the runs will come or the wickets will come, whichever type of player you are. Just stick to your guns and play your shots. Don't overthink anything. Don't try and do too much with the ball. If you're a bowler, just stick to the way you usually bowl, lines, lengths, spin, whatever it is you do. And with batting, just stick to your guns, play your shots, wait for the bad ball. Don't change anything up. This one is from Luke_Parmeta05. How many sprays do you put out a week? So I don't really do any per week. I do a wetting agent per month. So once a month I'll put out a wetting agent and irrigate that in. Insecticides, I do that in like September, maybe give it another hit December or January. And then as for liquid fertilizers, usually once a month for liquid fertilizers as well. And like PGR, I'll go out once a month as well throughout the peak growing seasons. And then sort of everything else is just by eye, like fungicides and everything. Fungicides, herbicides, all by eye. The wetting agent I use also has a kelp extract in it, so that's good for the root zones. So that's sort of two birds, one stone. But yeah, I don't really have a set sort of fertilise program. Well, I do, but not really. Like I kind of just do it all by myself and work with what I've got and just base it purely on like weather and time frames. Like it's pretty hard to get spraying done working at the school when the students always sort of at the school, and then after school they play sports, and weekends they play sports, so it's either Sundays or night times or maybe early morning where I have to email the whole school and be like, please stay off the ground. But yeah, not really a 1 or 2 times per week person. It's a couple of times a month, if that. I'm not sure if that caught on camera, but my camera just died. The battery must have been low. I thought it was fully charged, but I guess not. So, sorry, back to this. Jazzy MCM says, when will your next weekly blog be? I don't do blogs, so maybe vlog. I mean, today. If you've seen this video, I've posted another day in the life video on TikTok. It's not at work, it's just a day in the life of me on the weekend. Obviously, cricket season's finished now, so I can't do the game day vlogs. And at work, I'm not posting anything at the moment. So just trying to get as much content as I can outside of work. It's proven to be a little bit difficult. But there will be more coming in the near future, so stay tuned for that. Next question is from Kyron_J_T. Post cricket season square maintenance before footy kicks off, ? Actually this past week, I wish I could have filmed it and shown you guys, but couldn't. Because it's Labor Day weekend and it's a long weekend, there's no sport on at the school, so it gives us kind of a 2-week break. So I thought I'd get an early start on the wicket table. There's one pitch that still hasn't been used that is going to be used next weekend and the following weekend to finish off the season, but the other 4 pitches on the deck, I did something that I don't usually do and I've never seen anyone else do, but it worked quite well. So I got my Procore aerator, I've got the solid tines in it, and I set the height to the lowest depth that I could, not the deepest, the shallowest, and I ran that over the wicket block, not the pitch that's being used next week, and it just put little indents into the pitch, tiny little holes across the entire wicket block except for that other pitch that's going to be used. And after that I ran some seed over the top, some perennial rye seed, and because we're coming into the cooler seasons I wanted to oversow with rye, so seeded it, gave it a good water, and I've chucked some growth mats over the top to help the germination come through quicker. So yeah, pretty much post cricket season I just want to get some grass coverage back through it, so I overseed with the rye and try to get it as lush as possible coming into football season, just so the boys don't sort of smash it and it just never recovers until the following season. So yeah, just light air rate, and then yeah, seed and growth mats. This next one is from Amar_2K23. He says, can you buy a bat similar to Duncan's? Not sure if he's saying like, can I buy another one for someone else like Duncan's, or can I buy one for myself so I can use it? So the bat that I bought Duncan is this bat right here. It's Darcy Short's Icon bat. It's a pretty good stick. I used it one day at training last week. I didn't use it facing bowlers. I just sort of not shadow batted, but just hit the ball into the net by myself, and it comes off unbelievable. It's got an unbelievable middle. I think I'm going to use that next weekend. I'll announce what's happening next weekend. 2 weekends from now, I'm playing a game of cricket. I'll announce that in the near future. So if you're seeing this and you're like, oh, what's he doing? Soon, you'll know soon. And I think I might use Duncan's bat for that. If you're asking if I can buy you a bat, no. Sorry, short answer, no. It was a very expensive bat, and yeah, I don't think I'm going to be buying anyone else that bat. But who knows? There might be a giveaway coming at some point as well. Okay, next is from Andy_Waldron_22. He says, how's the grass pot going? Yeah, it's not. It was going really well up until like the Christmas New Year period. I went back and saw my family over that time, and I left the pot of grass on my windowsill inside, and it gets the afternoon heat, and it was quite hot. And because it was predominantly ryegrass, I came back and it was just burnt out, like beyond repair. I tried to get it back, didn't really work. I think I went too hard with the top dressing on it too, and it sort of never pushed through. And then, yeah, just sort of gave up. It was cool, but yeah, just didn't work where I had it. I probably needed to sit it in a bit of a cooler spot with less sun. But yeah, that's my bad. This question is from Lockie C27. He says, hey mate, what's your weekly water cycle look like? Right now, because we've had the rebuild and we got the cooch down, we don't really need to water it a whole lot anymore. But when it was ryegrass, I was watering it every single night for about 12 minutes per station, twice, like 2 programs throughout the night. And you'd come into work next day and it was just like drenched, but it had to be just to survive. Anyway, so right now I'm watering I'm watering 3 times a week. So it's usually a Monday night, Wednesday night, and Saturday night after games. I think every station is set to, like all the boundary stations, because we've got like 4 separate boundary line stations. So they're set to maybe 8 minutes per station, because they only go in a 180, so it's essentially 16 minutes per station, which sounds like a fair bit. And the rest of them I've set, the outfield ones that are not on the boundary, I think I've set to maybe 13 or 14 minutes per station. And yeah, water that 3 times a week at the moment, and seems to be going pretty well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the water cycle. Don't know what it's going to look like coming into like football season. Obviously, like when we oversow, we'll water a fair bit just to get that seed germinating, but once that's sort of done, it won't be being watered much at all. Next question is from Nafi. I hope I said that right. It says, footy, who do you support and do you play? St Kilda. I'm a St Kilda supporter, have been for the majority of my life. Yeah, tough times being a St Kilda supporter most of the time. 2009 was good, 2010 was good. Obviously we didn't win, but we were winning a lot, which was fun to be a part of. Lost in the grand final. Probably the only team that can say they've lost 3 grand finals in 2 seasons, because that draw felt like a loss because we should have won. Extra time on that one, I think we had that one. And do I play cricket? No. Do I play football? No, I don't play football anymore. I used to play for a club called Dalston Football Club. Played there through juniors and a little bit, like under 18s. I filled in a few games in the resis, but apart from that, no, not really. My dad used to play a lot, and he always fucking put it in our ear that football destroys your body, and my body's sore enough as it is, so probably not going to play football. Maybe a couple of little here and there charity matches or something if, if a team wants to get me on just for a laugh, for some content. But no, don't think so. Next question is from the Better Bell 27. He said, if you weren't being a groundsman, what would you be doing? Ooh. I mean, now I'd like to be doing like social media stuff and using this following to just to showcase other things. Like I don't know what, but because obviously majority of my stuff comes from being a groundsman, but I'm not sure. If I were to get a job doing something else, I used to want to be a pest control person, like going around to houses and spraying insecticides and everything like that. I did work experience doing that through high school, and that was pretty cool. I enjoyed doing that. This kind of is the same because we're both spraying insecticides at times, but I didn't mind that, driving around to, like, you have to do new slabs for houses. They all have to get like the termite guard around the slab and the like the termite caps on the piping and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe that. Apart from that, I really haven't thought too much about it, and I couldn't tell you. Another one from the Better Bell 27. Are you trying to play a higher grade of cricket next year or in the coming years? So since I was like 21, 22, I've played like first 11 cricket for previous clubs, a couple of second 11 seasons there. But I've won a first 11 flag for the Wonthaggi Miners back in 2014, I think it was. I don't know, I think that might have been the year that I made my first 100. You know, I can't remember. My only 100. So I've played high level of cricket, obviously not like Premier grade or sub-district high level stuff, but like club cricketing for the ECA as well when I played for the Deep Dean Bears. My first season there I started in the 3s, worked my way up and played majority of the season in the 1s, and then the following season I played in the 2s. Once I moved away from there, I was living in Brighton, I couldn't really train both nights, so I was playing in the 2s there, just training 1 week. I think I won the batting average in the 2s there. And then, yeah, I've had like 3 years off, and then this year's my first year back after 3 years, and I'm playing for Brighton in the sub-districts, the VS DCA, and I got picked in the 2s a couple of times, but due to work commitments, I couldn't do that. The first time I was going to get picked, it was after I made 60 in the 3s, and I actually damaged my hamstring, so I was like, no, I don't want to play a higher level when I know I'm not 100%. And then the following time I got picked in the 2s actually as a bowler, and because of work commitments I couldn't really, and they were playing like away like far north, I was like, I don't think I can make it. Like on game days I couldn't make it after work because I had to work till like 11:30, and then I'd have to travel to the game and I wouldn't get there till after the game started. So I didn't want to do that to the club, so I've just stayed in the 3s. Maybe next season, who knows where my commitment lies. So if time opens up and I'm free to play cricket properly, then sure, I'd like to train both nights a week and play, like, not saying I'm not playing properly now, but really commit to the club and commit to the season and play a higher level if I can. This one here is from Daniel Waterhouse 14. He says, do you like being famous / recognised at school, or do you don't like being recognised? Do you not like being recognised? I don't mind it at the school. Like, I still don't know how to act. Like outside of school, I don't know how to act. Cause like when I'm at school, obviously all the boys know me. Most of them are pretty respectful. They walk past, they say BGhetto or yup. There's a lot of boys who will just like see me from afar and yell out "Yup" or "BGhetto" and give me and some of them talk to me, like I'll say g'day, whatever. We have a chat. A few of like the Year 12 boys or the cricket boys, whatever, they come and have a chat, and yeah, everyone's pretty respectful by that. I'm just another guy. I work at the school. Essentially, to them, I'm just a staff member, like a teacher or whatever. Yeah, so they treat me like that. Obviously, they see a bit more of my life than other teachers, but no, they get around me. I don't mind it with them. Outside of work, when I get recognised, or like sometimes I'll go to like Coles or Woolworths, and someone, like I went to Woolworths the other day in Brighton, and I heard someone just randomly go, "Oh, grass guy from TikTok," and I went, "Huh?" And it was a guy that worked at Woolworths, and I was like, "So dude," and I don't really know how to act. I'm like, yeah. Like I'm a bit awkward like that. Or like when I go to the football or the cricket, like at the MCG or Marvel, whatever, on the train, there's always someone at the footy or cricket that sort of know me and will come chat to me, or like take a photo of me and send it to me and be like, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bro." But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I don't consider myself famous or anything like that. So yeah, it is what it is. But so that's done with the Instagram. Obviously, there was a few that were similar, so I put all those together. I skipped through a couple. There was one inappropriate question from one of my friends that I'm not going to put up on here because it was just dumb. It's actually not one of my friends. He lives here as well. For now, he's living here, so I'm not gonna give him the satisfaction of reading that question out on YouTube because it'll probably get pulled down. Okay, so now we will go to the TikTok where I had a few questions on here. Jacko_legend says, "Do you do apprenticeships?" I've had 2 apprentices since working where I am now. Danny, had him for a few years. He got qualified and then he moved like an hour and a half away, so he had to leave. And then now Duncan. It's not up to me to like bring in apprentices or anything like that. It's the school's decision if they want an apprentice or a qualified groundsman. Typically go for an apprentice. It's cheaper. They get to learn from it and get the experience, and yeah, you sort of like building them up to take over. But yeah, I mean, they've been my only 2 apprentices I've ever had, and it's been a good experience. I don't really, because I'm quite young myself. Danny was actually older than me, so I don't really think of them as apprentices. Like, sure, I'm still giving them my knowledge and expertise and sharing that all with them and helping them through it. But I mean, most people I work with, I just consider friends that I'm just hanging out with and doing the job with. Like that. That's how I do it. Another one is from Gus. He said, "What's the best way to make a backyard pitch?" To be honest, I don't have a backyard. I haven't got a whole lot of experience in making backyard pitches. I would assume just mark out where the pitch is going to be, get a rotary mower, mow it as low as possible so you can see the defined pitch. Maybe mow it daily, slowly get it down, and then yeah, just give it a water and get a light barrel roll on it, flatten it out, and yeah, play on. See how you go. This one's from Tree. It says, "Favourite sporting teams?" Okay, so we'll go through a few sports here. AFL, St Kilda. I don't go to many St Kilda games. I actually go to a lot of games that Saints are not involved in because I like being a neutral fan and just enjoying football. Cricket, obviously Australia, but it's Australia, Victoria, and the Melbourne Stars. I don't really follow the IPL or any county cricket like that at this stage. Maybe in the near future I might have to get into county cricket and pick a team. NBA, Golden State Warriors. Don't come at me and say I'm a bandwagoner from the championships. I've got videos of me wearing a Steph Curry jersey in 2010. So yeah, I'm an OG. I did actually go for Miami Heat when I first started, but that's because I didn't know anything about the NBA, and one of my friends was like, "Go for them because LeBron just went there," and I was like, "Okay." And then once I actually got League Pass and started watching every team, I was like, "Nah, I mess with the Warriors. I like Steph Curry, and yeah, he's my boy." Apart from that, NFL, Cardinals, they're not that great, but yeah, Arizona Cardinals, and NHL, the ice hockey. I don't really have a team. I have a LA Kings Guernsey back here somewhere with Ghetto on the back of it that I got when I was in LA, so I guess we'll say them. I don't follow any like soccer teams or football, EPL or Premier League, whatever. I don't follow any of that. Duncan actually asked me yesterday if I had a Premier League team, who would it be, and I said Arsenal, only because I see a lot of them. Well, my camera keeps dying, like, it's charging, but it overheated this time, so I'll try to get through this quick. Favourite sporting teams, I can't remember what I got up to, but I'm pretty sure I said all the ones that actually matter. Alright, next one is Jake Mellington. He says, is being a captain good? So I filled in as captain for the last 2 games of the season for cricket this year because our captain blew his knee out in the third last game. Yeah, it was good. I mean, the first game we had a lot of older players that were sort of veterans of the club, so they helped out a lot with moving fields because I had to wicket keep that game as well, so I was kind of focused on wicket keeping and doing everything. I was like a bit overwhelmed by it. But the following game we had a younger team and I was the oldest player, so took advantage of that and was the captain with all aspects. And yeah, it was fine. We lost both games. not a good start to my my reign as captain, but hopefully if I ever get to do it again, we get some wins. This next person is Champ. He says, mate, please post some content or else my suspicion of you getting a new job or fired is true. I haven't been fired and I haven't got a new job, so I just haven't been posting at work. Your suspicions is not true. Next one is from Lucas C. He says, how did you become a groundsman? It's something I'm interested in doing, but I don't know how to get into it. So this is similar to a question I answered earlier, but not really. So sports turf management is the apprenticeship that I did. Best way I'd say to get into it is to just get onto Google, type in turf apprenticeship jobs in my area, or like in Melbourne or in New South Wales, wherever you live, and just see what comes up. There's always plenty of jobs in sports turf apprenticeships at golf courses, cancels or sports fields, anywhere. You'll find something to get you through, even if it is a golf course. If that's not what you want to do, if that is the only apprenticeship available, I'd say do it, be there for a couple of years or whatever, do your apprenticeship there, and then through networking stuff, you'll find other jobs in like the field that you actually want to be in. So yeah, that's the best advice I can give. Just get online and search sports turf management apprenticeships in your area. Next one is from Benny Boy. He says, are you ever going to leave being the groundsman at BGS? I kind of answered that before. I mean, like I said before, things change, people change, circumstances change. So if that is the case for me in the future, then yes. If not, then no. I mean, I'm only 30 years old. Do I see myself being there until I retire in 40 years? Probably not. That's a long time at the same place. But we'll see what happens. Another one, this one's from Lucas. He says, what season do you prefer to be a groundsman, in AFL season or cricket season? Cricket season, I prefer cricket season because it's warmer and I enjoy that, and I'm constantly going. I'm flat out doing wickets and everything, and I get to see more of a result. But the only downside to it is a lot of work and a lot of overtime and weekend work, so towards the end of it I get a bit burnt out. Football season's chill. I mean, there's not a whole lot to do. You kind of cut the grass, you fertilise every now and then, do a bit of aerating for the compacted areas, line mark, and just watch the ground get destroyed by football. So if I want to be more laid back, I guess football season, but yeah, no, I'll stick with cricket season. This one is from Ollie Thomas. He says, what's your favourite part about your job and why? Favourite part's probably just being outside, working outdoors, and just sort of like, it's going to sound corny, but kind of like the serenity of just being in the middle of a field, like a sports field or an oval, wherever, just cutting grass. There's something about it, like just being able to lay some fat stripes and look back and go, it looks sick, or create a cricket pitch and look back and say, that's a good pitch. But yeah, I'd just say just being out there, kind of being by yourself. You got a lot of time to sort of think and get things done. I like to just listen to music and go about my day, put my head down, do my work, stay out of everyone else's business, keep to myself, and just do the best at my job I can do. And yeah, just being outside in the sun, it's good times. Alright, next question is from a guy called Josh. He says, highest score in cricket and best bowling figures. My highest score is 111. I made that maybe 2014 or 2015, I think. Against Fish Creek, we were chasing, I think, maybe 370, and I came in number 5 or 6, and we were either 3 or 4 down for 140 odd. And yeah, ended up making 111 and winning the game for us, which was good. A couple of us made a couple of decent scores. My 111 on the day was the highest score for our team, but yeah, we got the win, and it was great. And then as for bowling figures, I'm not much of a bowler. I think on my cricket it says my best bowling figures are 4 for 30, something like that. I think that's just because that's the most wickets I've taken in a game, but there was a game a few years ago where I was bowling leg spin actually. This year I was bowling more medium pace, but I was bowling leg spin and I think I got 3 for 7 off like 7 overs, which was probably to me my best bowling figures, because obviously low runs being hit off me, and 3 wickets is pretty good. This one from Ryan Neal. He says, what school did you go to? I grew up in Wonthaggi, so I went to, I started off at Wonthaggi North Primary School, and then went to Wonthaggi Secondary College throughout year 7 to year 12, and then after that went to trade school, which was just Chisholm in Rosebud. But yeah, so Wonthaggi Secondary College, I think that's what it's called. This question is from BGS_grounds, not the school I work at. I think this is Ballarat Grammar School. He says, any tips for cricket pitches? For me, I like to get a lot, because it's a 10-day pitch process for me anyway. I know some people do it within like 5 days, they try to smash it out. For me, I like to, if I can kind of explain like this, I like to go on day 1, 100% water, 0% rolling, and then as the days go, like day 5 it'd be 50% water, 50% rolling, and then game day, 100% rolling, 0% water, if that makes sense. So day 1 I'll always flood the wicket table, flood the pitch, and then come day 2, gradually get the cutting heights down from whatever the wicket table's at, if it's at 12 mil, 10 mil, whatever, just slowly bring it down each day, cut lower and lower until you get to about 6 mil, 5 mil, whatever height of cut you want for your pitch on game day. Maybe in the morning before you mow, give it a light broom. If it's dry enough, give it a broom, stand the leaf up, cut it, and then get on the roller. 45-minute sets in the morning, maybe a light fizz of water, and then a 45 set in the afternoon. And then, yeah, you'll figure it out pretty quick what your wicket table's like. My camera overheated again. Anyway, any tips for cricket pitches? I think I got through it all. Yeah, I hope that I got through it all. Yeah, just research, ask questions, and just do what's right for your wicket table, and you'll figure it out. This one's from Jezza. He says, favourite sports player, Michael Jordan and Steph Curry. My favourite basketball players. Favourite cricketer of all time is Adam Gilchrist. And favourite football player, I don't really have a favourite all-time football player. Yeah. Same question, same person, Jezza, says, why don't you play some senior footy? I explained that in another question. I don't mind going and have a kick every now and then, but I don't think I'd. And final question is from AJ, says, why have you stopped the oval videos? Yeah, I kind of went into that a little bit before, but I can't go into too much detail with that, but hopefully in the near future I'll let you guys know what's going on and I can continue doing so. Alright, so that's the end of the Q&A video. Thanks for all the questions and sitting through this video. I know it went for a little bit longer than I anticipated, but there was a lot of information and questions to answer. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe as well to the channel. Hopefully I'll get some more content pushing out soon. I know I've been a little bit slacky lately, but we'll get some more happening. And yeah, big things to come. So thanks for watching. Bread.
Keep on moving on.